Hey guys, happy Flossy Friday and welcome back to me. I hope everyone had a great holiday, whether it was Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or Christmas for you. I hope that it was great and that you got to spend it with friends and family. I'm wearing a shirt that I got myself and I thought that it would, one, because I love it, but two, because I thought that it would be perfect because I keep on missing weeks and it's not intentional. I explained the last time that I missed, and last week I just couldn't do it. Last week I got back into town on Monday, and then I had to do laundry, get ready. I went to work and finalized a bunch of stuff, and I had to pack Tuesday and go to sleep really early because we had to leave work at 6 a.m. to be in Austin by 9 Wednesday. Stayed overnight and didn't get back into town until 5 p.m. and it was a nightmare. And I really don't want to get into the details of it because it involves people at my work, but testing for the product went great. The users loved what I designed. They loved what the programmer designed for this this refresher course and training that we put together and retesting type thing. And so that's fantastic. But the people that I was traveling with made my time an absolute nightmare. And so, yeah, without going into many more details, I held my tongue because I did tell my boss if I'm going to get in trouble, it's going to be because I didn't want to socialize with them on my free time. I said it's not going to be because I went off on one of them. So that's what happened. That's what I did. I kept my tongue very tight-lipped and yeah, so they reported me for being rude because I didn't want to associate with them on my breaks, but I can't get in trouble for that. So anyways, that's all great. And then, so that Thursday I was just really tired. I went to sleep. Like, I got back to my house around 5:30. I went to sleep probably around like 7:30. I was just exhausted. And then Friday, had to go back to work. Gizmo had a checkup at the vet. Stop. Speaking of Gizmo, she had a checkup back at the vet, and the medicine did not, it didn't really work. It kind of worked, but it also didn't. It reopened, and it's staying an opened ulcer on the tumor. But the doctor honestly thinks that he will be able to successfully remove it. So we're going to attempt this surgery. And so it's going to be very, very light anesthesia and then local numbing because she is so tiny. She weighs 6 pounds. So it's going to be incredibly light anesthesia, which he thinks will be fine for her because of how she's reacting and acting about everything. And he's mostly going to be using local numbers and anesthesia, for the area, not her whole body. So we're going to try it. And if the Lord decides to not wake her up, then fine. But he truly thinks that this will work to just completely remove it. And the healing time is 24 to 36 hours, which is a really short healing time. And if this is successful, he thinks that the way that she's acting and otherwise her health, that she could have another year, possibly 2. And those kind of possibilities are kind of the thing that makes me say I'm okay with trying this. So if you don't agree, don't put it in the comments. I don't need to know people who don't agree. That's that. Anyways, so And then it was Christmas. So then Saturday I left to go to my dad's, and I was very MIA on any social media while I was at my dad's for Christmas from Saturday until Tuesday because my dad does not have internet. So I rarely posted, and what I did post, I put on Snapchat, and I did a Merry Christmas post on Facebook. If you are the very few handful of people that are friends with me on Facebook. But I did put it on my Snapchat, and I may have put 1 or 2 images on Instagram. But as far as like hanging out on it or watching anyone's videos, I didn't start catching up with FlossTube or anything like that until Tuesday night. So, and I'm still a little behind. So, anyways, shout out to everyone. I did receive a couple of Christmas cards from y'all, from different people, and I'm not going to show them or anything like that, but I greatly appreciate it. I sent a few out myself, but I also sent out cards for me and my dad, and so I didn't send out too many to FlossTubers. It just didn't happen this year. I will hopefully be more prepared to do that next year, because 80 cards between me and my dad, it gets a bit pricey for postage. So, yeah, I just wasn't prepared to send out any more than usual, so I sent out a few. But thank you for everyone who did send me a card. They were awesome, and I really enjoyed them. I did have a new start. So, Michelle, don't yell at me. I totally took home with me for Christmas Toasty TARDIS and the 12 Days of Christmas to work on the Toasty TARDIS during the Doctor Who special, but I did not get to watch it at my dad's. I didn't have the opportunity to schedule it to record, and so I didn't get to watch it. I'm watching it. I actually have it paused right now, so that way I can record this video. So I didn't get to work on Toasty TARDIS yet, but it's definitely coming out in January because I absolutely love that pattern, and so I want to get it finished. I really do. But I did have a new start, and I worked on this a tiny bit while I was at my dad's, but most of this I finished before I left for Christmas. But I really wanted to start something on Friday before I went out of town. I went to Gizmo's doctor's appointment, and then my friend Tracy came over later in the day, and we watched some Greys and hung out while I was packing and cleaning up and stuff and preparing to go back down to Houston. And so I started this, and I absolutely love it. And so this is the same piece of fabric that I did the Frosted Pumpkin Sleepy Hollow on. I bought the kit, so it's the recommended fabric. I want to say that it's Haunted, and I want to say that it's 16 count, but do not quote me on that. Please go look at the kit version of Sleepy Hollow, and it will tell you the fabric and the count size. But I have the Christmas version from the magazine. You can buy this pattern now on the Frosted Pumpkins website, and I'm trying to remember what it's called. Actually, my computer is sitting on top of it. It's a pretty small pattern. It's just a single page in the magazine, and it was in Just Cross Stitch December 2015, and I don't have the page that says the name, so I can't help you with that. But this pattern is available on the Frosted Pumpkins website, and just like Sleepy Hollow, I am not doing the letters down at the bottom. It's supposed to be a sampler with the alphabet. I'm not doing that. And I am color completing. So I started out with the green, and I did the green all the way around, and then I did the gold because the gold is only the snowman's nose and 2 of the bulbs. And then I did the pink, and then I did the white. No, then I did the red, and then I did the blue, and now I'm working on the white. So This pattern does call for, it calls for some, it calls for some weak dye works, but I'm doing everything in DMC, and some of the colors I didn't have in my box, so I picked comparable colors that I thought would look really good on this darker fabric, because it's not recommended to do it on this darker fabric, but who cares? So I picked similar colors, but I don't think any of the colors are the called for colors. I take that back. The pink is the called for pink. And the green is the called for green. But that is it. Everything else I changed. Also, so 3 of the colors are meant to be in Weeks Dye Works. So it's the Blanc color. The white is supposed to be Icicle. The red is supposed to be Candy Apple. And the green is supposed to be Monkey Grass. And I use DMC for everything. The other thing is that Santa's beard and his boots are meant to be antique white fuzzy stuff. 1, I don't have that, and 2, for as few stitches as this is, I'm not, no. And also I've heard that it's kind of horrendous to work with, so again, no. So I'm just using white for everything for him, and then obviously where it's actually supposed to be white. So I'm doing 2 of the icons in Blanc, and that's about it. And then the only other color that I've left is the skin tone color and black for like the eyes and things like that. So I'm going to steal that out of another kit. Which brings me, so that's my only progress in 2 weeks. Last week I definitely took time off. I took stitching with me everywhere and intended to stitch, but I really just did not have time. So that's what I've gotten done so far on this. Pretty much a pretty quick stitch. I haven't given it as much time as I would like to. I wanted to work on it a whole lot more than I did while I was gone. It just didn't happen. We were really, really, really busy. My dad was motivated to go through more stuff again. So the weekend before, I helped him go through the bottom cabinets in the kitchen, and this weekend we went through the top cabinets in the kitchen, and it overwhelms him a lot. So we aren't doing it the KonMari way, which is totally fine. The concept of this really overwhelms him, and he's getting better at letting go of things that were expensive. Because as I keep on telling him, it may have been really expensive, and you may have had it for the last 30 years, but you haven't touched it in the last 10 for sure. And so the money is just being wasted anyways, so you might as well donate it to let somebody else enjoy it. And so he's really starting to be more okay with it, but he still doesn't want to work on it for like hours at a time like I can. We have to do it in shorter spurts. But yeah, that's really exciting. I'm helping him out with that. And so just didn't have time. Anyways, let's see. The other thing that I want to talk about is the whole 18 in 2018 whip, year of whips, okay? Or not 2018, but the year of whips for 2018. Now, I said and talked about that I was going to do this before I even knew that there was a Facebook group. There is a Facebook group. I think it's called Soulful Stitching. Michelle added me to it. There's a lot of rules. I haven't officially joined it. I know that if you complete your list, then you get put in a drawing to win something by the end of the year, and there's like little things like that. And I think that's really good. I think that's a really good like marketing and promotional tool to help people get their whip list and piled down. However, there's like, you have to upload an album and you have to keep on top of all this stuff. And I have a hard enough time keeping up with all the other crap that I do, or want to do or try to do. So for me, it's just too many rules, and I think it's great for everyone who's doing it, but you do not have to be in the official group or be participating in the official group to do a year of whips. And so, like I said, I was planning on doing this before I even knew that there was a Facebook group, so I totally do not feel bad for still doing it and calling it my year of whips, because that's, for me, that's what it is. I'm just not giving rules to myself. So I'm about to go through and show you out of my 30, I think it's 37 now because I keep on starting shit. It was 35 in my whip parade, and right now I currently have this little guy and Pasta Time and One Nation. So actually, I think I'm up to 38 whips. Anyways, I have 20 on my list that I would love to complete in the year of 2018. Now, obviously, there's more than that, and actually, I'm going to make it 21 because I can. But my goal basically for 2018 is to finish majority of this list. And I know that some of them, because they're massive, may not actually get finished, but I want significant progress on them. But some of these other ones that are smaller or really close to finishing, I really just want to push myself to get them done. And there's some others that are in my sewing room that could be on this list because there's so little to getting them finished. I just don't have the drive. Like, if I put it on this list, I will never want to get to it because that's how badly I currently hate that project. And if y'all have been watching a short while, you know that I'm talking about the Clouds Factory postcards. That is one that is so close to being finished, but I literally hate it so much that I don't know. It's basically like wasted time and fabric at this point in my mind. So maybe eventually. It'd be nice to get it finished in 2018 just so that way I can tick it off and put it in a box somewhere for a while. But yeah, that's where I'm at with that. So I'm going to show you my list that I would like to get done. And yeah, this is not everything, but this is the ones that I chose that I really want to get done. So there are more back there, like I said, that are really close, like the Frosted Pumpkins National Parks. I have about half of it done, but is it one that if I were to finish it tomorrow, I would attempt to try and have framed by the end of the year? Probably not. So these are the ones that like I really truly desire to have finished by the end of this year. So I'm just going to, I have a big pile behind me. I'm just going to pick things up and show them to you as they are laying around me. And I have a few on this in front of me as well. I'll get to those last. Stop. I didn't mean to scare her off. I just wanted her to stop. It's okay. She's fine. All right. So without further ado, we're going to show that. Also, I want to say sorry to Adele. I really know that you wanted a stash parade before the end of the year. I will try to do it in January. This month has just been that insane. I really still want to do it for you. I think it'd be really fun. But I am still putting that room together because somebody motivate me to finish my sewing room / office because I just don't have the motivation myself at the moment. But I really need that more organized to really be able to do it well. And it doesn't help that I kept buying shit. So yeah. So one of the ones on my list is the Halloween Cat by Satsuma Street. Like I said, I have this part of the moon left. Ooh, this part of the moon left. And I actually do have the color in this kit, but I hate this color a lot. It's really hard to work with. The scheme that I have is just really hard to work with. But other than that, I'm missing 4 colors out of my box because I have too many whips and to finish this. So this will probably around like May or something. I'm hoping to finish a couple more. Like, I'm hoping to get some finishes, and then I will look and see if these colors are in any of those kits so that way I can get this one finished, because it's really cute and I really want it done by October to put out this year. And so, Drew, this year, it's happening, I promise you. All right. Oh, I grabbed 2. That's fine with me. The next one that I really want to finish, and this is so realistic because this really does go fast if you take the time to actually work on it. But this is my Plague Doctor. The hardest part is getting through the black, I promise you. But this is where Plague Doctor is so far. I have this page left to finish, and 1, 2, and like 3. I have like 3 or 4 more pages left of this. Not a whole lot. Because I'm not doing the giant ring on the outside, but I am doing all of the colors. I know that some people just did the black and it looks fantastic, but most of them did it on a more natural colored fabric who did that. I know a few people did it, but majority of what I've seen did. But I think my fabric would have been a little bit too crazy to not do the full pattern. So I am doing the full pattern. But I really did like working on this. It became Halloween, and I just kind of got out of the Halloween spirit to work on it, even though it's not necessarily Halloween. The next one that I really want to, if not finish, get really good progress on is my Barbara Anna New World, and I have half of World 3 done and about a 1/4 of World 4. So I really want to get working on this. The most frustrating and hardest part of this is that the pattern is easy, okay? Like, this is half of row 3, and there's 5 rows. So if that gives you some perspective, and this is about maybe not a 1/4, but I don't know. Maybe like a 5th of row 4. It just takes a long time with the motifs. You just have to change your colors a lot. So it's slightly irritating, but it's not bad. And I really just like working on it. It's a really fun pattern, and I love the fabric that I chose. It's a very primitive design, but I really, with all the colors and everything going on in it, I really wanted to jazz it up, and that's why I did it on the Mermaid's Playground from LJ Fabric. Yeah, Fabrics by LJ. Grab a couple more bags. Oh! Sorry about that. I will either edit that out or I'll leave it in and it can just be a funny. Alright, so one of the next ones that's on my list, y'all know I've been trying to finish this for a long time, but all black gets really tedious. But my Ouija board, I'm almost to the top. The letters honestly do not take very long. It's literally the border that takes a ton of time, but you can tell I'm at the key over here, so I almost have this corner done. Literally the letters take no time at all, so majority of what I have are the corners and this giant bat. I love this. This was what I thought was a screw up piece of fabric that I dyed myself. And I hated it for the longest time, couldn't figure out what I would ever do on it. It was one of my first times to ever try ice dyeing, and whenever this pattern came out, it's by the Clouds Factory. I absolutely loved this, and for the Ouija board, and I think it looks amazing. I have some ideas of how I would want to finish it, but I have to find like that perfect piece to make it really happen. But yeah. Another one, this is technically a whip because I have slightly started it, but this is another Fabrics by LJ fabric, but this is for the Satsuma Street Zodiacs. I still don't know how I want to really do the border, and I did design my own border on Excel. I have the last 2 patterns to buy, which is Scorpio and Sagittarius, but I do have the other 10. And it's all of these, and they're by Satsuma Street, so they're super, super colorful. There's about 40 different colors in this entire set, but all the patterns use from the same color palette. So I went ahead and just bought skeins of all of them, so that way I would hopefully have enough of almost all of them. So I designed my own border. I may leave it like this, I may not, but I just really liked this fabric for all the different zodiacs. I thought that they would all pull really well with this. So I really just want to get them started. So yeah, that's that. But technically it's a whip. I have put stitches in the fabric. So again, another really big one, and I have 2 other really big ones coming up that I'm about to show you. I don't think I will finish these in 2018, but I want to get a lot of progress on them. And if I do finish them, well then, hey, that's really awesome. So, and this next one is by Stitch Rovia, better known as Emma Congdon. And you're going to hear her name a lot. But this is Moon Glow from Picture This Plus. And this is the large London pattern. And here you go. So this is it. I have started in the center where it says London. But because of the fabric and the pattern, I did decide to change the center to blue. Obviously, I have so much progress on this, but no, really, I don't have much progress on this, and I really do want to work on it. I think that it will go decently fast. It's a lot of little motifs, but they're all like singular or just 2 colors, so each motif should do pretty fast. So aside from the giant London in the center, which is where I'm currently at, and it seems really daunting, I know that if I can get that finished, it should go pretty quickly for the rest of it. So that's kind of what I'm hoping anyways. But it has a really fun, bright, and colorful palette. So that's promising. The next one that is also really big and London themed is also by Stitch Rovia, and this is the Great Britain sampler, and this is as much as I have. And again, it is massive and it is full of little British motifs. But again, a lot of the motifs are very monochromatic, so it shouldn't be, not many of the motifs have a lot of color changes, so that should help in making it go a little bit faster. So we will see. All right. Grab a few more from over here. All right, so the next one that I'm going to show you is one that I had a hard time putting down. But again, I don't have many of the colors in the kit. I'm missing a lot of them, so that's why there is a lot of blanks in what I have started. But this is the Fruits sampler from the Frosted Pumpkin. And this is on, I believe it's called Whirlpool by Picture This Plus. But I have started 3 of the fruits, and I am doing the names in Italian. Because I want to put this up in my kitchen and I want it to be in Italian. And so this may be another one that may not come out until a couple of months, whenever I'm able to have a few more finished, or at least a few more like larger ones somewhat color completing, so that way I have access to more of the colors that I need to work on that. The next one is Pin Pals, also by the Frosted Pumpkin. So this is 16 different stamps. They look like mailing stamps. And I designed a pattern for 15 stamps. If you are interested in that, I will send it to you. It's an Excel document. And so I just designed a layout for how the 15 could look, and I figured out spacing and stuff. So, because they were supposed to be done with them, and then they came out with a 16th, because why not? So I've got to figure out what to do with the 16th pen pal, but I thought this was really super cute. I'm doing them all kind of like a page of stamps. So I may do the 16th one like randomly off to the side or something, because if you buy the framed page of stamps, they always have the page and then a single one off to the side with like a description of that series or whatever. So that may happen. But this fabric is also from Fabrics by LJ, but I cannot remember the name of it. But I just loved it because all of these are very like fun, bright, and vibrant, and the fabric is not, so they really pop off of it. And it only takes like 2 or 3 days per stamp. So I don't know why. I just don't knock a few stamps out at a time. So I don't know. I'm hoping to maybe not like for like a week work on stamps like every quarter or something of this next year and get it pretty close to finish, if not finished. Another one on my list to hopefully finish is Mermaid Lagoon by Satsuma Street. Again, another Fabrics by LJ. I cannot remember the name. I feel like it is, I don't know. It's something water sounding. I did some edits on her. I made her skin tone look like a normal skin tone. She's supposed to be blue, and I changed the color of her hair. But other than that, I didn't change anything about any of these colors. And I have it as wide as it's going to be across the bottom, and now I just got to work up, and there's still quite a bit to go. So this is a really fun one, but it does take a long time to work on. Okay. We're starting to get into the zipped bags now. So the next one on my list is the Apostles' Creed, which I started recently, but I absolutely just love working on this. I finished about a little bit more than half of one of the pages. There are 5 pages, so I did that in about 4 or 5 days. So I think I can get some pretty good progress on this if I give it a good chunk of time. And this is by Heartstring Samplery. There you go. Love that pattern. Okay. The next one on the list is, of course, oh my gosh, maybe, I don't know. I say of course. But if you watch me, you know that this is probably an of course. But of course, my sewing cats. So I really need to pull this back out. This is a piece that I dyed the fabric for. This is by Soda Stitch. Adele is doing a stitch along for it. That's why I say of course. But it's fabulous and amazing, and why isn't everyone doing it? I know not everybody's a cat person, but it's such a fun stitch. And I'm really trying, Savannah, to not ruin this copy that I have, because I'm going to send it to you whenever I'm done. So sometime this year, you'll be receiving the copy of Sewing Cats. Okay, the next one is another Stitchrovia, and this is Be Inspired. I've made pretty decent progress on this. I only worked on it for about a week. But I'm about a fourth done with the black. So I'm working on the outline, all the outline first. I don't know. I have about 50% of the first page done, so I do have about a fourth of it done. And then I'll do the second page black, and then I will pull colors to fill in. And that's another one that once it comes to the colors, I'm going to have to wait, because I initially was going to fully kit this, and I only had about 4 of the colors in my boxes. So again, I need to wait until I finish some of my other projects to have some of these colors available to me. Another one that I recently restarted, and I used to have so much progress on this, but I restarted it, and I absolutely love that I restarted this. I recharted a border for all 3 patterns, and I love it on this sparkle fabric. It's just so beautiful. But this is the You Are My Sunshine, the trio of them. I'm going to put all 3 together. The first one's going to go on this side, and the third one's going to go on this side. And I designed a border, so if you want that border, let me know. It's in an Excel document. And yeah, I just really, really, really love this. I think I'm not going to like skip to my loo around like I did the first time. I'm going to finish all of the middle one, work on the border going this direction, do the first one, and then I'll do the third one. But yeah, I'm really super loving working on this one again. So I cannot wait to pull this one back out to work on it. It's awesome. I love it. All right. The next one that, again, is super big. I don't expect myself to finish it. I just want to get some pretty decent progress on it. This is Barbara Anna's Big and Small, All Creatures Big and Small. This is where I'm at with it, so I have a long ways to go. This is my biggest sampler yet. This and my Harry Potter and my Haid are my 3 largest pieces. So, yeah, this is pretty big, but I love it. It's a bunch of tiny motifs. I'm not as fast as some people, so, you know, these are mighty ambitious for me, but I'm going to give it, you know, it's only December. It's not even January yet, and everything's seeming so daunting, but I think it'll be fine. I think I'll finish several of these, and I'll get good progress on many of them. So I'm just hopeful that that's how it actually plays out. The next one that I'm definitely going to finish, and I might work on this one in January because I want to finish it so bad. And again, thank you, Sarah, Stitch and Mommy, for the vintage skein of floss, so that way I don't have to pick everything out. But this is my quotes to live by. I have 3.5 quotes to finish and a little bit of the border left. It's so close to done. This is also by Stitchrovia. This was a charity sal from this last year where it went to Mind UK, which is for mental health awareness. So love it. It's all positive quotes. Just absolutely love it. And I cannot wait to get it finished. All right, we're down to the last 5, 6. Another one that I've been working on for forever, and again, I have high hopes that I'll finish it, but we'll see, is my giant Harry Potter. So I will show it in 2 halves. So I have about 1/4 of the top half done, or I do have 1/4 of the top half done, and I have about 50% of the bottom half done. So I have about 1/4 of the entire pattern done. This is 1 foot by 3 foot. It's massive. It's a ton of color changes. It's a ton of tiny little people. It's by Clouds Factory. It's called Giant Harry Potter. If you're a Harry Potter nut, you should own it. But it will take the rest of your life. I'm just kidding. Maybe not that long, but it will take a long time. The next 2 that I really, really do want to get finished, one a little bit more than the other. I really do want to finish my Pretty Little Washington, D.C. by Satsuma Street. But more than Washington, I want to finish Pretty Little Italy. So this is on the list as well to be finished. Okay. My gosh. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay. So, the next ones that I have are And I've already mentioned this one. Oh my gosh. I have all the colors. Why do I always do this? I always fold up the colors I'm currently using on a page. I don't know why I do it. It's torture every time I do a video. Anyways, the next one on my list is Toasty TARDIS. I love this one so much. I absolutely love it. I finished 3 pages. I'm working on the bottom 3, and then I have the top 3, and then I have back stitching. And like I've said previously, I'm not going to do any of the snowflakes falling that are meant to be French knots because 1, no, and 2, I don't have to. And these are not sounding like worthy enough excuses, but they are to me. I really just don't want to, and 2, I don't think it needs it. So it's mostly just the back stitching of the actual TARDIS. All right. The next one on the list is my 12 Days of Christmas. Oh, and a lot of people keep on asking me about Toasty TARDIS before I moved on to the next one. Please watch the video from back in July where I talk about who I got it from and where it came from. The fabric that I'm stitching it on, I did dye myself. So I don't know. I kind of wanted to do it on a purpley color, so I dyed something purpley. It came from a company called Pixel Power, and it was the most sketchiest, shadiest buy I've ever had. It was a Christmas in July thing, and it was up for 2 days they posted that this pattern was going to be on sale for 2 days. Well, we all thought because it was Christmas in July sale that meant that it was only going to be on sale price for the next 2 days. And they legit meant that it was only going to be on sale for the next 2 days. The other thing is that there's a place for like designer and things like that on the pattern that normally by them is filled out, and for this one it is not. It was literally just called TARDIS, and they have no pictures of this anymore on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere, on their website, nowhere. You cannot find a picture of this pattern anywhere associated with them. So it was really weird. It was really crazy. You cannot get it anymore. And Michelle and I, Bendy Stitchy, we're stitching it together, and we titled it Toasty TARDIS Sal for anybody who was able to get the pattern. So you can't get it. And whenever I tag it on Instagram, I only tag it as Toasty TARDIS Sal. Because I'm not going to put who I got it from or anything like that, because you can literally no longer get it. Now, whether or not they'll ever release it again, I do not know. Follow them on Facebook and see. But, yeah. Anyways. The next one is by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and this is 12 Days of Christmas. I have these 3 squares down here left to finish, and then I have the big lacy border. But I am so close to finishing. It is ridiculous. I have 9 through 11 to finish, and the little musical notes around 12, and then like literally the border. So I'm really close to finishing this, and while it's actually the 12 Days of Christmas right now, I want to work on it, and so yeah, it's out. I want to finish this little Santa Claus, which is my last one, and this shouldn't be on this list because this is, I hope, going to get finished before 2018. But just in case it's not, he's on this list as well. But that's kind of just comical. He should be finished tonight, or at least by tomorrow night. But yeah. he should be finished really soon, and then I'll be working on 12 Days of Christmas, and then I'll probably get out TARDIS, because I just want to work on it while it's still cold out. But that is my list of the whips that I am putting in top priority. The other part of my whips, my year of whips 2018, is that I want to start as few things as possible. Now, I don't know about that. There are some things that I really want to start. Like, I really want to get the Farmhouse Christmas series that's coming out this year. And there are some patterns in my stash that I want to start. But I really do want to put a focus on getting this pile either completely gone or significantly lowered. I don't want to have this many whips, like, ever again. It's really fun to start a whole bunch of things, but it really is a lot more fun to finish a lot of things. And so I really want to do a lot more finishing next year than starting, which is what I did this year. So it's not saying that I'm not going to start anything, and I'm not doing completely stitch from stash. Although I did join that Fabric of the Month club, the Baker's Dozen, and I also got it in even weave. So, you know, I will have more fabric to choose from that's not Aida, and I won't have to be dyeing everything myself also. And so I'll have more options to be able to stitch from stash because I have a ton of patterns. And that's another reason why showing a stash parade is going to be a little bit more difficult for me. I have so many patterns, but they aren't physical copies. I have so many digital patterns. I have a ton of Satsuma Street. I have a ton of Stitchrovia. I have a ton of the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, like ones I haven't even started. I had physical copies of magazines a long time ago that I just scanned in, like the ornament that I wanted to stitch at some point in life. And so that's another thing. I want to do some ornaments this year. I think that would be really fun. They don't seem to take very long. They seem to take like 2 to 3 days, depending on the ornament. And I think that's really manageable, but I also want to do them on some of the linen that I'm going to be getting from the Baker's Dozen. So that's something that I can really start planning like a month or two in. I also want to finish the final pattern, seasonal pattern from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery is coming out in the early spring. So like maybe like the March time frame this next year. And so I really want to get the autumn and the winter finished as well, so that way I can do the spring one, but I'm waiting for the spring one to come out so I can order fabric for that. Yeah. So I have plans, I have ideas, I have things that I still want to start. I also want to work on my Haid throughout 2018, way more than I worked on her this year. I just got really overwhelmed, I think, this last year, and I started way too many things, and it's overwhelming. And so, my year of whips is not saying I'm not going to start anything. It's not saying that I'm sticking myself to stash only. It's just saying I want this pile as close to gone as I can possibly get this year. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of take a little bit of a page out of Emily's book, and I'm also going to take a page out of how I used to stitch, where I really stitch on what's calling to me, and I don't set myself a time frame. The beginning of this year, I was setting myself a time frame, 4 to 5 days per project, and I was literally planning out my calendar on what I was going to work on, what day, and that worked for about 6 months. And then after that, I really think that I just burnt myself out. So honestly, if I finish this Santa Claus and I start working on 12 Days of Christmas, and unless I get so close to finishing and I only maybe have like 1 day left to work on it, if I'm tired of working on it, I'm going to put it away and I'm going to pick up whatever is calling to me. That doesn't mean that I'm putting it down for the whole year. I'm just putting it down for a short while. So that's kind of more of how I'm going to do it. I have a ton of whips and I'm going to be rotating them, but I'm going to also kind of be putting a focus on whichever one I pick up. I'm going to work on it until I honestly just don't want to anymore. And if that's 2 days or 12 days, I don't really care. I'm not going to give a whip a timeline this year. And also for me, so that's what I'm taking out of Emily's page. Towards the end of this last year, she was guaranteeing that a particular whip was she wanted this one finished. And so she was going to give herself like a week or a week and a half every month on that whip until it was done. And then she would pick another focus whip. But I'm just going to make every project of mine a focus until it's either finished or until I literally just cannot work on it anymore. I need a break from it. The other thing is not setting up timelines for myself. I'm not gonna feel bad because I worked on something for like 8 days whenever, whenever normally I would only work on something like 4 days. So, that's kind of how it's going to be. And if I need a new start, I need a new start. If I need to work on a whip that isn't one of these, I just need something to break up the monotony. But with that being said, my goal is to get this particular pile as low as possible, but I am still going to be working on other things and starting other things. So that's kind of where I'm at with the year of whips. And how I'm going to treat it. But I am going to kind of take a page out of how I used to stitch and be a little bit more monogamous. I'm really going to give a project the time that I want to give it. And that comes back to the not giving deadlines and things like that. So that's where I'm at with that. I really hope that you enjoyed seeing my Year of Whips 2018 projection for you and what my goals are going to be. I can't wait to start watching some of y'all's. And I totally forgot that I did have a slight mini haul. So I'm going to do that now. If you're still with me, I hope you are. Whenever we were going through some stuff right before I left on Tuesday, my dad was looking through, I don't know, one of my mom's old drawers, and we found these. So it's 2 little cross-stitch kits, and they came from Vienna, Austria, Vienna, and it has, or Vienna, Austria, it has the, it comes with everything you need. It comes with a thread, it comes with the frame, it comes with a needle. But this is one of them. So it's, they're the Austrian countryside. So these are also going to get done. We went on this trip whenever I was like 10 or 11. So 20 years ago. So these are not going to take very long. So these are definitely going to get done and I'm going to stitch them up. I'm really excited about it. So I found these 2. I found a couple other cross stitches in the same drawer that these were in, but they were loose. And so I told my dad that I would take them and look at them, but I needed to like organize them first, and these were easier to take with me. Also, this one is started, and it's just half stitches. So this isn't even cross stitch. This is needle point. And so you're supposed to, so you're supposed to do 3 strands of color, and you're only supposed to do half X's. So yeah, it's more like needle point. And my mom started this one. She started the sky. I don't know if you can see that. Giz, stop eating the Christmas tree. It's a fake, but still, she should not be eating Christmas tree. So that's the other one. So cute, super, super, super cute. So yeah, I'm going to work on those as well. These I might take to work because they're so tiny. So they're so tiny and everything's in the little bag. And especially since they aren't full X's, they should be a pretty quick little stitch. So, pretty simple. You just stitch the color with the color on the canvas. Hopefully it's as easy as it sounds. I've never done that. That was all my mom. So yeah. Anyways, miniature haul from my house from whenever I was 10. But yeah. Anyways, that's this week. I can't wait for the next video in the new year. We're at 850. So I really hope to hit 1,000 in 2018. That's another goal of mine. And whenever we do hit 1,000, I will do another giveaway. So, you know, if it happens, whenever it happens, might do one before then, but that is the goal, to do one then. But I hope that everyone has a really happy New Year's, and if you don't celebrate it, I just hope that 2018 starts off really great for you. And that, again, everyone had a great Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or Christmas, whichever you celebrated, or if it's none of the above, I hope that you just had a great time in December and a great end to 2017. I'm starting to get congested as I'm doing this. But yeah, that's going to be it for me for this year, and I will see y'all very soon. Bye, guys.